Hi, this is Matthew Robert Payne, and this is chapter 3 of the book Living a Life of Eternal Significance. And chapter three's title is The Prayer That Revealed Solomon's Heart. And Tolu's going to start us off, but I'll just say we did cover some of this in chapter 2. I wasn't aware that chapter 3 was going to be about this. But Tolu's going to start, and I'll continue, and then Solomon will lead at the end and say something himself. So I'll just leave you with Tolu.
Thank you, Matthew. I know it is in the further chapter, but it's okay. We can always repeat it, or King Solomon can expand on that. But this is a very important chapter, the prayer that revealed King Solomon's heart. And I guess if we all look back in our life, there might have been moments that revealed more about a person than years of visibility ever could. Moments where the deeper architecture of the heart becomes exposed. For King Solomon, that moment came through a prayer. It wasn't through his wealth. It wasn't through his palace. It was not through the temple. It was not even through his influence, achievements, or reputation, but through what he desired when God gave him the opportunity to ask greatly. Because what a person asks for often reveals what they truly value. And King Solomon's request reveals something extraordinary. And at the beginning of his reign, King Solomon stood beneath overwhelming responsibility. He's inherited leadership over a nation, carrying enormous complexity, pressure, expectations, and spiritual weight. He was young, inexperienced, but aware of how inadequate it truly was. And when God invited him to ask for whatever he desires, King Solomon did not initially ask for riches. That's what the church will ask for today. Military power, fame, church will ask for fame. I've seen a lot of pastors. I've read posts on Facebook. The pastor said he used to pray to God, use me, use me. And God was like, I'm already using you. Say, no, I want the platform. I want the fame. I want to be known. That's what everybody thinks that is what it is to be used by God. It's to have this fame, it's to be known. It's to be the pastor that's got all the wealth, that travels in his private jet, that can't sit with other people in the plane because they are demonic. You remember who said that, Matthew?
Kenneth Copeland.
Oh, you didn't say it. You remember? Because he couldn't sit with somebody else in the jet because they've got demonic presence. What? It's just ridiculous. So how many demons exist in his heart? He's got so many demons he's carrying around himself without even knowing. And demons in his church, demons are everywhere. So King Solomon did not ask for all of that. And we've got a lot of people thinking that until God gives them that popularity. Matthew struggled with it as well for a long time. I think he still struggles with it even till now. He wants to have one video that will go viral. And every time he's always looking for different titles, but it's never worked so far and it's never going to work. But he never gives up. He's always trying. And I'm sure you remember the question I asked King Solomon, which is your yesterday, which is my today. How can one be wise and be
dumb?
Exactly. So when you get the message and God says, there's no fame for you, I've called you into this Eden ministry. And that's where God really tests your love. Do you love him, or you love the fame, or you love the popularity? King Solomon really, really loved God, and he loved his people. So he didn't ask for long life either, dominance, or pleasure, or the destruction of his enemies. He asked for wisdom. And most specifically, understanding, discernment. Let's look at Israel, who used to be Jacob. A lot of things that Jacob did was maybe it's a mixture of his wisdom and deception. Like he knows how to multiply things. He knows how to get what he needs to achieve. And King Solomon knew that the wisdom can get him so much more. And I'm sure he's not even thinking about wealth when he was asking God for wisdom. But he knew that he wanted to do the work of God right. He knew that the children of God that God has committed into him, they are so much more important than the fame. And I always wonder about why people think that a ministry without popularity is not a ministry. Why is that so? Till now, it just does not make sense to me at all. Because it's just like when you go into an organization, you see the CEO, which is the forefront. What did Jesus call it? Like when you know
forward facing
of the organization. And then you've got the cleaner, who is the back forward. But without the cleaner, the organization will not be able to run smoothly. You've got the cook. Every element is important. And the same thing is in the house of God. We're not all going to have a forward-facing mission. Our mission can be backward. It might just be you are just a prayer warrior for that ministry. But God sees you. God appreciates you. So King Solomon just said, I just need to be able to lead my people right. This matters deeply to God because heaven does not merely evaluate what people pursue. It examines why they pursue it. And I think a lot of people that are wealthy today, the question they need to ask themselves is, why am I pursuing wealth? Or why am I pursuing power? Is it to destroy or to be able to have more positive impact in people's life? Because two people may desire influence while carrying completely different hearts. One desires recognition, another desires responsibility. One desires applause, another desires understanding. I know in Matthew's case, even though he wanted the popularity, but not for himself, it was because he carried this message that he felt that it was so important. And when people have access to it, it will increase their understanding. But Christians are really dumb, Matthew. Even when they see the real message, they don't know how to cling or align their lives. They don't believe in that message because they've heard so many dumb heresies all their life. And that heresy is so ingrained in them that it's so difficult for even your message to be able to shine light into their heart. So one desire power over people, another desire wisdom for people. And this is why motives becomes one of the truest revealers of character. God often looks beyond your action, your language, your public spirituality, your religious performance, your outward appearance, and is examining your intention, your hunger for him, your posture towards him, your sincerity, and the deeper direction of the heart. And this is where a lot of Christians have failed because God will say, a lot of them have served me all their life because they want to land in Hawaii. And then they go to heaven, they are in their Hawaii. They don't care about God. There's no hunger. They don't have the right posture. They don't even want to know how heaven is operating. So far, they are living their life that they think they deserve because all their life they've prayed and gone through so many fasting and prayer just to be here in heaven. So yes, I've arrived now. I could care less. So what is the posture of their heart? Greediness, selfishness. So there's so many people in the church that the posture of their heart is worse than a wealthy person like Taylor Swift that is outside of the church. The fact that you are inside the church does not make you better than someone that is outside of the church because so far, so good. God is creating more better friendship from people that we would call the people of the world. And the Christians are being pushed out because they're very selfish. King Solomon was not selfish. King Solomon's request revealed that at least in this moment, he understood something many people never fully grasp. Wisdom mattered more than success itself. And this is profound because most people pursue outcomes before inner capacity. They want influence before they are even mature for it. They want visibility before they get the depth that is required. They want wealth before wisdom. They want expansion before stewardship. They want platform before character. But King Solomon recognized that the deeper need first, he understood without wisdom, abundance becomes dangerous because success amplifies a person. And if insecurity remains hidden, success often magnifies it. If pride remains untreated, influence enlarges it. And if identity is unstable, achievement rarely heals it. And this is why many people are not destroyed by failure. They are destroyed by receiving things their inner world was never prepared to carry. Matthew could not carry billions as he is today now. I'll probably not be able to get in touch with him. I will call him the next morning and he'll probably be in one hotel where women are coming in and out. I just say, God, you could just have a break. Just leave me alone. I want to enjoy my billions as I am now. Wow. I keep throwing Matthew on. But I know Matthew too well. And King Solomon seems aware of this. He prayed, his prayer revealed humility, not performative humility, awareness. He understood that he did not possess enough wisdom within himself to carry what has been entrusted to him. And that posture is rare. You could barely go into a church now and you see them praying a prayer point of, God, I want to know you. I want to know your heart so that I'm able to lead your sheep right. A lot of them just want fame, money. So if that posture is rare, especially among ambitious people, because ambition often convinces people they are already ready. Wisdom, however, produces awareness of limitation. And the wiser a person becomes, the more conscious they often become of complexity. Let me repeat that. The wiser a person becomes, the more conscious they often become of complexity, consequences, responsibility, human fragility, and their need for guidance beyond themselves. And this is why, genuinely, wise people often carry quieter confidence than arrogant people. Arrogance is usually loud because insecurity constantly needs reinforcement. Wisdom does not need to announce itself continually. And perhaps this is one reason God was so moved by King Solomon's request, because King Solomon's prayer revealed a heart that still valued discernment over applause, stewardship over status, and understanding over self-glorification. So this is deeply important because many people do not actually seek God. They seek outcomes. They seek success. They seek protection. They seek influence. They seek visibility, opportunity, increase, healing, or relief from pain. But there's a profound difference between seeking God and using God to obtain desired outcomes. This distinction changes everything spiritually. A person may speak constantly about God while remaining primarily obsessed with self-advancement. Even spirituality can quietly become transactional. Prayer becomes ambition covered in religious language. And worship becomes strategy. I worshiped all my life. I never even knew I was worshiping because I was enjoying it myself. I could never forget the Holy Spirit saying that to me. That Tolu, you love worship because you enjoy it. I'm like, wow, it is true. So maybe I'm not necessarily worshiping because I wanted to worship God, but there's an element of me enjoying the act of worship. And for many, faith becomes negotiation. God, if you give me this, I will do this for you. That's what the church do. They'll tell you, make a vow. Make a vow. I remember when Ben was here and Ben was really, really unwell. Ben made a vow to God that if you do this, I'm going to give you this. And that was, of course, so that he wanted to be healed. And he did pay the vow, but he was still not healed. So you cannot change God. God will do whatever he wants to do. You can negotiate till all kingdom come, but God will still do. And I know Ben has got a heart for God. He really served him, he loved him, and he wanted to still live because he felt his family is still young. And whatever I can do to stay, I will do to stay. But God said, no, it's time for you to come home. So God slowly becomes a means to an outcome for a lot of people rather than the relationship itself. And this is why King Solomon's request carries such weight. He genuinely desired wisdom, and wisdom reflected responsibility, because leadership without wisdom harms people. And that's what is harming a lot of us today. We've got leaders that have no wisdom. Influence without discernment destroys, and power without maturity corrupts. Expansion without inner depth eventually collapses. Imagine all these things me and Matthew are doing today. God has been preparing our lives separately for so many years. Matthew looks at me and says, Tolu, how were you able to do that? How were you able? Like I said, you were not there when Jesus was stretching me. Although Papa said, all I thought was Jesus, that he was speaking to me as well. Where Jesus would tell me, Tolu, you have to do all of this today. I don't want you to ask Ben. You cook, you take care of the children, you go to work. And I'm like, Jesus, what did I do? And saying, you just follow. So following for all those years of crying, of stretching, now I'm not living this life. And I'm thinking, if there was not enough preparation, how will I have capacity to be able to hold all the things I'm holding now? So all of those things make sense. And a lot of us, we want to have wealth. We want to have a lot of things that we don't even have the capacity to carry. 1 minute, Matthew. Why is Laura? Oh, sorry. So you sort yourselves out, girls? So, yeah, you could eat. So, the greatest thing God can give a person is not opportunity, but the wisdom to carry it safely. And I think that is what was so special about King Solomon. That because many people will pray for something else, but he prayed for what really mattered to God. And wisdom is what teaches a person how to carry success without arrogance, how to carry wealth without greed, and how to influence without manipulation, power without domination, and probably recognition without losing identity. So without wisdom, abundance becomes dangerous quickly. And this is why King Solomon request still echoes across generations. It revealed that his heart initially understood something eternal. But Matthew, why I consider, I'm like, why isn't there no desire for church to always pray for wisdom? Why do we always pray for money? We don't pray for wisdom. It's not something that the church values. Becoming the right person mattered more than merely obtaining the right things. And yet King Solomon's story also becomes sobering, because possessing wisdom intellectually is not the same thing as consistently living by it relational. So a person may understand truth deeply while still drifting emotionally. They can understand knowledge, but knowledge alone does not guarantee surrender. Awareness alone does not eliminate temptation. And this is one of the painful complexity of human nature. But despite King Solomon's last struggles, this moment still matter profoundly, because it revealed the posture that initially attracted God's favor towards him. It was not obsession with greatness, not hunger for riches, but hunger for understanding. And perhaps this is where many successful people must pause and examine themselves honestly. Not what do I want God to give me, but why do I want it? Because motive often reveals whether success will deepen intimacy with God or slowly replace it. Some people want wealth because they believe it will finally make them feel valuable. Others want influence because they crave significance. Others want recognition because invisibly they feel unseen. Others want success because achievement temporarily silences insecurity. But none of those foundations can safely sustain the soul long term. And this is why wisdom mattered more than riches. Wisdom protects what success alone cannot. It teaches restraint, humility, stewardship, discernment, perspective, and dependence upon God beyond visible achievement. So, as we close, perhaps this is the deeper revelation hidden inside Solomon's prayer. God was not moved by what King Solomon could build. He was moved by what King Solomon desired before he built anything at all. Because the art always comes before the kingdom builds around it. God bless.
So I want to take you back to something we mentioned last chapter. God created the nation of Israel. God had 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 tribes of Jacob, and he called Israel his people. He became their God. He didn't initially want a king. He wanted to rule Israel himself. The people of Israel were his people, and he loved them, and he highly favored the nation of Israel, the people of Israel, above every other race. So when when Solomon made his request for wisdom, he wasn't requesting wisdom so he could be rich. He could be a good leader. He could be fantastic. He could have all his desires. He asked for wisdom so he could manage the people of Israel in a really proper way. And he would have grown up watching his father, David, doing things, and he would have been impressed like David, like I've said. But Solomon asked for a way to bless God's favorite people. That
Mm,
God, it was God's favorite people, the people of Israel. And Solomon was saying, it's like God had a cat, and Solomon came up and started petting the cat. It's like
mm,
it's God's favorite cat. God's only got one cat, and Solomon picked up the cat and petted the cat and said, "Can I look after your cat? I'll look after your cat from now on." That would really impress God. Well,
yeah.
the people that were dear to God was the people of Israel. He created the people of Israel. He had a purpose for the people of Israel, and that would eventually become his son Jesus would be born to that tribe of people. So Solomon wanted to look after something that was dear to God's heart. And so many people overlook that part of the story. And perhaps this is the first time you've heard that story. So what do we get out of this?
Mm,
Perhaps, perhaps before you ask for wisdom, perhaps you might want to ask yourself, how can I bless God's heart?
mm,
How can I make God happy? You know, for Kanye West, that may be a song like Michael Jackson's song "Heal the World."
mm,
For theology teacher, that may be like writing a book, unpacking the Proverbs of Solomon. You know, for a teacher, that may be starting a special class for children that have learning disabilities and using your teaching ability to teach people with special needs. There's always something you can do as an individual that can bless the heart of God. And so, you know, it doesn't have to be wisdom. What we can learn from Solomon's prayer is that he asked for something that would bless God's heart, but you don't have to pray for wisdom. You can pray for a way to bless God's heart, and that'll bless God's heart if you get aligned, if you allow the Holy Spirit's presence to come upon you, if you allow yourself to become intimate with the Holy Spirit so the Holy Spirit can lead you and direct you, you can be directed to do something that's going to really bless God's heart, like Solomon blessed his heart. And that's why he got so popular and why he was so successful. What did Elon Musk do to bless God's heart? What what makes Elon Musk so special? Why is he so successful? Like Elon Musk is like a modern Solomon. It's not that he's just come up with successful ideas, but if you
Mm.
listen to Elon Musk, he wants to better the world.
Yeah.
All of his inventions are to better the sustainability and the success of mankind on the world. He's got a heart better than any Christian, and
Mm.
he's been blessed by that. Not only has he been blessed to have four successful, prosperous companies, but he's been blessed with the most finances in the world. He's another
Mm.
modern day Solomon. So, uh, where is Elon Musk getting his intuition from? Where's he getting his ideas from? Uh, does does it surprise you that God could work with someone who doesn't identify as a Christian? No one can deny the wisdom that Kanye West has. No one can deny the lyrics and the music that Taylor Swift has. No one can deny the genius of Michael Jackson or the genius of John Lennon or Paul McCartney. Where do these popular musicians get their excellence from? It all comes from the Spirit of God. And so uh, before we can do something that affects the world in a major way, we've got to align ourselves with what is right, what is holy, what is beautiful, what is powerful, what's a blessing. And one of the keys to success is coming up with an idea or coming up with a business that'll bless the very heart of God. And in order to get aligned with that spirit, in order to get aligned with that intuition, we've got to first know God. Well, Elon Musk proves that you don't have to first know God. Elon Musk says Elon Musk's life proves that you've just got to have a good thought. You just have to have a good motive. You just have to have a good heart. And Solomon had a beautiful heart, I believe. Elon has got a beautiful heart. And I believe anyone really successful in music has a beautiful heart because they want to touch souls. You know, um, so many people live without purpose. So many people don't know their purpose, don't know what they're here for. They don't know what they're doing, and they're wandering around in this maze called life, trying to find the right direction and find the right path to go in. So Solomon was a success, and he led his people well, and he had supernatural wisdom. He had supernatural success under his father. Like Israel was constantly in war, and Solomon in his reign, I think his reign was 40 years. Uh, there was no wars with Israel. And that's because the wisdom of Solomon had him marry all the princesses of all the surrounding enemy nations. He just went and married all their children so they wouldn't attack the country where their daughter is a wife of the king. And so he had supernatural wisdom that helped him in so many different ways. And God will be on your side if you choose to be on his heart. If you surrender your life and seek to bless his heart, God will bless you. You don't necessarily have to have wisdom, but you will get a really good business idea of God if that business is going to be doing something that blesses the people of God. So every one of us is a child of God, whether you're Hindu, Buddhist, uh, uh, come from Islam or Christianity or even a witch or an atheist. Everyone is a child of God, and if you want to bless children of God, if you want to help children of God, if you want to help people, God will answer your prayers. So now we'll hear from Solomon. I'm very impressed with the way that you said what you did. This this chapter is one that comes back to something dear of my heart,
Mm.
and my heart I was an Israelite. I was proud of my lineage. Not many people understand outside of Christianity that my father basically seduced my mother or raped her, and I was one of her children, and I was selected to be king. Some people who outside of Christianity don't know that Jesus came from my lineage. I was like a great 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 grandfather of Jesus, and so Jesus chose a lineage where the mother, my mother, was seduced or raped, and chose me as the wisest man in the world's history. But Jesus descended from me, and I I really loved my people. David, my father, really taught me to love my people. And so I made all the decisions for my people, the best decisions I could. And some people in this world are quite intelligent, but like Tolu asked me earlier today, why can someone be really wise and be really dumb? So many people with degrees and a lot of knowledge and distinctions and PhDs, they can be really dumb too, and uh,
Absolutely.
and it can be pretty stupid, and so uh, it's not guaranteed that you're going to make good decisions. But I had my people's heart in my chief part of who I was, and every decision I made was for them. I wanted to carry my lineage uh, in a lot of directions. I wanted a lot of children. I wanted to possess a lot of power, and some people look at my 1,000 wives, and they mocked me for it. And but imagine being such a beautiful person that a single female could have a choice between just one husband or choose to share me with 999 other females. Like, how exceptional would you have to be to have a woman choose to be one of 1,000 instead of one of one? And not many people reverse look at that. They look at me as a fool having that many wives. They don't look at how excellent I was and
Wow.
how above the class of any other man in the kingdom, how I was the best man in the kingdom. And it wasn't just my wisdom that
Mm.
got me there. It was my
Wow.
heart. It was my heart. My heart is what brought the wisdom. My
Mm.
prayer came from a sincere, loving, devoted heart to the people of Israel. And it's not wisdom that's going to bring you success, it's your heart. And
Wow.
your heart is pure. Your heart is your essence. Your heart is your spirit. Your heart is where God speaks. And Matthew doesn't hear us through his mind. He hears us through his heart. That's where dreams are born. That's where you see a dream. You don't see a dream in your mind, you see it in your heart. When you get a bad vibe off a person and someone's giving you an ick feeling, you get that feeling in your heart, not in your mind. Your heart communicates it to your mind, but you get the feeling in your heart. And so God really wants you to do some major work on your heart. And it doesn't matter whether you're doing witchcraft to get successful. In some ways, Matthew's starting to understand some things. In some ways, it really is wisdom to do witchcraft and use that because they've got some successful paths and successful spells and successful incantations that they do to get the things they want. What matters isn't your method. What matters is your heart. And I had a terrific and beautiful and loving heart. And, Matthew found out recently that all of my 700 wives and 300 concubines, they're all my wives. They're not concubines in heaven. They're all wives now. And my 1,000 wives are with me in heaven, and they gladly share me and they gladly love me. And uh, my chief possession, the chief power, the chief authority, the chief riches, the chief reward that I have in heaven is I'm a very good friend of God's.
Mm.
And that's who you want to pursue with your heart. If you want to find true riches, if you want to find true success, if you want to find your dreams, if you want to arrive in paradise, uh, get your heart aligned to the heart of God.
Wow. And that's the message.
Okay, God bless you, and I hope you enjoyed that message.